The Crypto Markets Update is brought to you by KuCoin, the best place to find the next crypto gem.
Slightly up markets, but joining us now to discuss is Andre Portillo. He is head of digital assets at Brazilian asset manager BTG Pactual. Morning, Andre.
Good morning, guys. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Great. Thank you for being here. I know you're mostly focused on the Southern Hemisphere. However, like it or not, U.S. regulators do have an effect, it seems, on cryptocurrencies. So you just listened to Gary Gensler, or the SEC Chairman, talk to our own Nick Day. What was your thought? What was your big thought, your big takeaway from after listening to a U.S. regulator talk about his approach to the crypto markets?
Well, I think it's clear that, and sometimes I think people misunderstand that he was very clear that Congress make the laws, make the rules, we reinforce them. And so he's doing exactly what his mandate tells him to do, right? So we all in the crypto community have a willingness that regulation needs to evolve. But I think that won't depend on Gary Gensler and on the SEC, okay? We need actually a better regulation and a more, I would say, modern regulation in order for the technology benefits and gains come to the market. I think that was my big take. He's doing what his mandate tells him to do. That's it. Okay, if you are a platform that offer securities, you need to register. If you are issuing a security, you need to register. And then maybe the discussion will be, okay, what is a security? Because not only in the US, but all around the globe, I would say that definition is far from, I would say, objective, okay? People can be discussing, okay, is this a security? Is Bitcoin security? Is Ether a security? Is Ether in a proof-of-stake environment secure or not? So it's tough. I think there will be a big challenges ahead.
Mm-hmm. So in the meantime, of course, we're looking at the crypto markets today. It seems that everything is slightly up. We're dancing around the $19,000 figure for Bitcoin, and we've seen these these moves up and down around that level. What's your take? It seems almost as if the markets have been relatively quiet. I mean, we just had the 75 basis point rate hike at the ECB. The euro isn't necessarily a factor in crypto the way the US dollar is. Nonetheless, it speaks to a global concern about inflation. Do you think that that's actually coming into the market now, into the crypto markets, in a way that maybe is saying so much, it's still a risk-off market versus a risk-on market? Or do you think that we've kind of turned the tide, that these central banks have taken control of inflation, or are getting it by the reins, and that maybe perhaps we might see a little more willingness to take on risk, in fact, once that's under control?
Yeah, I would say that, first of all, you mentioned in the beginning that, well, I deal with, let's say, Brazil and Latin America, but everybody at the end needs to pay attention to what's happening in the US, okay? And although people from crypto community don't like, everybody's trading the same thing right now, okay? So everybody's trading inflation, the Fed actions, and at the end, everybody's trading S&P, right? Because the market, S&P and the NASDAQ, because the markets are very, very correlated. And I guess we will continue to trade like that in the, let's say, in the next few months until the market can have a sense if inflation will behave, I would say, more gently moving forward. But the thing is, we're trading macro, okay? I tell my team, guys, forget, we're not trading Bitcoin, we're not trading Ether, we're trading S&P, we're trading the Fed actions, because that's what happened. The market's highly correlated, and the big question is, okay, first, should the crypto market be trading like that? And the second, when we're going to have a decorrelation from crypto to the other markets, okay? And I think until we have a more clear view of what's going to happen with inflation, we'll still be trading in very correlated markets.
I'm wondering if you could highlight, the trading public in South America. How are there greater volumes? What kind of trends you're seeing? Is there more capitulation, especially for those who went in here thinking that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies were an inflation hedge? And I guess following that, it's the 1-year anniversary of the Bitcoin law in El Salvador. Do you think that has worked well for the country?
Well, first of all, I think all the volumes went down, okay, with the markets. It's normal. But one thing that it's very interesting because we're a big bank in Latin America, and we are probably one of the few that have a digital asset division. And I talk to clients several times a week with different channels of distribution. And the interesting thing is that although the market's down a lot, and although the liquidity shrink a lot as well, the interest did not vanish. So people are still interested in understanding what's happening with the market. And people who already have positions in crypto, they want to update with the market. They want to know our opinion. And people who are not engaged in crypto yet, they want to know if that's the right time to engage. So this is, I think, quite interesting given the market that we have experienced. Latin America is very interesting in terms of the different ways that each country deals with crypto. Okay, so you take, for instance, El Salvador and maybe Mexico. There's a lot of demand for better remittance channels. Okay, and crypto is great for that. And one of the things that I think pushed El Salvador to adopt crypto, apart from some political decisions, was this. It's a big part of their GDP comes from remittance, especially money that people from the US send to El Salvador. And you see this in some countries. But if you go to other countries, for instance, like Argentina or Venezuela, that experience high inflation environments, people using crypto as a way out on the sovereign currency, okay? And if you look to Brazil, that we have a relatively stable and sophisticated market, people look much more for investment and speculation. So that's very interesting how each country, depending on its demands, uses crypto in a different way. So I think, we are still far to understand how will be evaluated the El Salvador experience. I think we're not there yet. Okay, and there's a lot of challenges, a lot of technology challenges, I guess. Okay, but I think we are not yet there to okay, it worked or it didn't work.
Needs a couple of more years.